Hey guys, so for this video, I'm going to cover all the new arena changes as well as lay out the fastest way to get to champs in Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 8. As you should already know by now, everyone's arena points have officially reset. However, there's a catch. You see, Epic usually gives us around 3 or 4 weeks to get to champs before tournaments start, but this season, there's a cash cup in 5 days. It's all good though, do not stress out too hard, because I am here with all the best strategies to maximize your arena points in the shortest amount of time possible. I got you covered. So take out a pen, a piece of paper, and pay attention, as this is my Chapter 2 Season 8 guide to climbing an arena. Oh, and also getting to champs. To start things off, Epic, just as they did last season, went ahead and changed the arena scoring format. These changes were not quite as big as the ones they made previously, mainly in Chapter 2 Season 7, but the point is, the arena point system is different. To prove it, on your screen now is the official Chapter 2 Season 8 solo arena scoring format. Don't worry if you do not see a difference between this one and any other one. I'm not gonna lie, I do not have them memorized either. Just trust me though, they changed a couple of things around and I'm going to explain it all in the next few minutes. One of those things that kind of does not directly relate to the format, yet also does, is that Epic made it 7,500 points to get to champs. Yes, you heard that correctly. That is 1,500 more points than it was last season, so I guess it technically got harder to get to champs. Additionally, Epic finally added a really cool feature that everyone has been waiting for. Can you guess what it is? It is the one feature they should have added from the start, de-ranking. You all heard that correctly. Epic finally made it so when your arena points go below a certain point threshold, you will actually de-rank from one division to another. That's crazy, right? Regardless, moving on to the actual changes that we care about within the arena scoring format, let's first begin with solos. So the way I kind of made this chart and how you should read it is that in the second column, you have the new scoring format for solos. It shows all the different point values for each placement threshold. Then next to that, in the third column from the left, the one labeled old, aka the Chapter 2 Season 7 scoring format, that's where you have the placement points from last season. And then finally, all the way to the right in the last column, you have the difference between the old and the new one. Right off the bat, you should be able to notice that Epic made a lot of different changes. There's stuff like taking 5 points off from reaching the top 10, adding 10 points to the top 40, which was never there. Yet, what's kind of interesting is that if you look at the total placement on the bottom, that's basically the maximum amount of placement points you can get in one game, essentially a 0 kill win. When you look at that and compare the difference between the old and the new one, there's pretty much no difference. It only went up by 5 points. I guess Epic wanted to try and spread the placement out even more than they already did. In some certain placement thresholds, they made it less. In some other ones, they made it more. The only threshold they actually took away was top 35, and then they added top 4 and top 40. So yeah, it really was not a lot of changes. Do you know what changed a lot though? Elimination points. For the first time ever in arena history, Epic actually made it so you get less elimination points the higher you go up in arena. And I know that may sound harsh, like it makes it seem as if Epic made elimination points worth nothing as you go higher up. They actually did not do that. Basically what they did was they made it so elimination points are worth less as soon as you get out of open division. For example, as we just saw in solos, elimination points are worth 20 when you're in opens division, any division between division 1 and division 4, but then as soon as you get out of that and you're in contenders league, one elimination in solos only becomes worth 15 points. That's a 5-point drop off. In duos, it is a pretty similar story, yet the drop off is way worse. And by the way, I know I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I have not even showed the whole duo arena scoring format. I'm gonna do that after. I just feel like hearing the elimination points right now will make everything easier to digest because it's gonna be a lot of information. Anyways, back to what I was saying. In duos, one elimination in opens division, remember anything from division 1 to division 4, one elimination is worth 20 points, the same as solos. The thing is, once you get to contenders, it drops all the way down to 10 points for one elim. They cut it in half, man! Finally, as for trios, eliminations do not start out as high as they do in solos and duos. One elimination will only net you 15 points in open division, then as soon as you get out of that and go to contenders or even champs, one elimination elimination becomes 10 points, the same as in duos. Now, to kind of backtrack a bit, let's go way more in depth into the trio and duo scoring format. That way, I can tell you guys which game mode is the best to grind. Duos, as you will see in a second, got a huge placement upgrade. Remember how I said before that in solos, nothing really changed placement-wise? Well, the opposite happened in duos. In total, Epic added 50 more placement points, even though they only added one extra placement threshold. Kind of weird, right? What they did was they basically doubled or tripled the placement points you got at each threshold, in between, I believe, top 20 and top 5. This really may not seem like a lot because 50 points is almost nothing, but it's actually a really big change. What this means is that playing placement in duos and just playing duos in general is just way more viable. Remember before how I said in Opens Division you get more elimination points than you do in contenders and above? Well, that is what we're talking about right now. In duos this season, you get 20 points for one elimination in Opens Division, and you also get the same amount of placement as you do for a win in solos. It's 185 for both, so duos is kind of busted. Like, just think about it. You have a teammate in duos, which you just do not in solos. You have a way higher chance of getting more kills because more people will be alive, and even if you suck at the game like I do, you have another person to rely on. It's amazing. The only catch here is that, again, that is just for Opens Division. I'm gonna tell you guys what I recommend for contenders and I guess champs if you really want to grind to number 1. Looking at the bottom where it says elimination points, that is for outside opens, and as you can see, it is 10. That means in order to get the same amount of points as you could with a 0 kill win, basically max placement, you would need to get 18.5 kills. Almost a 20 bomb. Compared to last season, that number is double. That's also why it's the only percentage that is positive that's in red. You want that number to be lower because getting less eliminations for the same amount of points is better. But in duos this season, it got way worse. Wait, but what about trios? At first glance, it does seem pretty good. It did get a huge buff. You again have an added 50 placement points in total. None of them are from additional placement thresholds, which is kind of weird, but very similar to duos. Epic made it so one elimination outside of Opens Division is worth 10 points. That means you will need to drop another 20 bomb, more than 18 kills in order to get the same amount of placement as a 0 kill win, 185 points. Alright Jerian, what is the dang strat? What game mode should I play? Like I said before, duos is 100% the best game mode to play in Open Division. You will get 20 points per elimination, and you will get the same amount of placement as if you get a 0 kill win as you would in all the other game modes. Then once you get out of Open Division, I recommend to grind trios again. Yes, you could technically get more points in one game from playing solos. Elimination points outside of opens are 15 in solos and only 10 in duos and trios, but you have to remember solos is way more RNG. You literally have 99 other people trying to eliminate you. The chances that you get 12 or more kills, that is the total kills you will need to get the same amount of points as in a 0 kill win, all placement in solos, which by the way, you would need 18 or more in trios. The chance you can consistently get that compared to in either duos or trios is so slim. Plus, in trios and duos now, you get the same amount of placement as you do in solos. This was never a thing. In the past, you got 135 points for a 0 kill win, but now in duos and trios, you get 185, and you get the same thing, 185 in solos. Last thing before I move on to the more gameplay-oriented tips and tricks, it's good to know that Epic did in fact raise the bus fare. Last season, the Division 7 bus fare was only 40 points, now it is 50 points, a 10-point jump, and even though it does not sound like a lot, it does add up if you keep dying off spawn. This paired with the fact that Champion Division is 7,500 points instead of 6,000, it means your Champions grind will be harder. Not in the fact that you're going to be up against better players, like Epic did not really change the matchmaking at all. The games will still be dead, they will not be stacked, it's just going to take you longer, which I guess is technically harder. Give us a real ranked mode. Onto the gameplay tips and tricks and just the changes after the preseason. A lot is different. One of the biggest changes, which I did enjoy, is that Epic took chug cannons out of Arena. Or well, they kind of did, they also kind of did not. I think you can buy them from an NPC, but my point is that they are no longer in loot llamas. Instead, Epic replaced them with chug splashes and a new form of chug splashes called spicy chug splashes. This new variation of chug splashes is mythic. You can only get them from a llama. They basically basically do the same thing as a Chug, but the main difference is they give you a speed boost as well. Yes, you heard that correctly. Whoever gets hit by a Chug basically gets a pepper effect, and they're really fun to use. I personally love this change because Chug cannons were way too broken. They would literally regen as the game went on, and that's just too strong. Chug splashes do not. Once you use one of them, it's gone forever, and you could only hold 6 in total. So between those two new additions, I really do enjoy them. Another really cool one, which I suggest you all take advantage of, are the epic and legendary crows. So I'm not sure how many of you guys realized, but at the beginning of the season, Epic added birds into the game. They're literally crows, and they just randomly spawn on different parts of the map. You can shoot them, and they will give you meat. However, what Epic added after the preseason are legendary and epic versions of them, basically gold and purple crows that when you kill them will drop purple and gold loot. I have gotten scars from it. I've gotten purple shotguns. I've seen people get gold spazzes. They are so freaking broken. I really do not know how or when they spawn. I think it's kind of random, but I've seen some early game. I've killed some late game. You basically have to always pay attention and just be aware of your surroundings. These things are literally so broken, and they're going to become the meta to kind of look for them. So if you guys know how to find them, let me know down below. They're basically an airdrop that nobody else can see unless you're around them. Bruh. Final sort of change to end off the video is that yes, Epic finally took the railgun out of arena and competitive. They no longer drop from IO crates. You also cannot buy them from the Pleasant NPC anymore. At least I think you cannot. So even though they were really fun and they were the reason I qualified for the FNCS warm-up round 3, they are gone and arena is finally balanced. Good luck grinding. Overall, guys, those are all my best tips to get to champs, and as I said before, the fastest way to get there. So if you guys enjoyed the video or you learned something new, do be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel somewhere down here, and to turn on my post notifications. Shout out to everyone in the screen for using code JERIAN. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Remember, boys, like I always say at the end of the videos, if you use my code and you took a picture of it, just send it to me and I'll shout you out. Also, I stream on Twitch. Otherwise, that is it from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.